Now the news in detail. The Edo State Governor, Gordon Obaseki, has again clarified that the proposed Edo Museum of West African Art, EMOA project, which is about to take off in Benin City, is not intended to hold artworks from Benin Kingdom alone, but the entire West Africa. Governor Obaseki made a clarification while addressing stakeholders at a pre-project workshop ahead of the commencement of the first phase of EMOA. KUFM Chinedu Ekeja reports that the governor also clarified that he has no fight with the Palace of the Oba of Benin over the subject, as the Legacy Restoration Trust handling the project is a charity organization and that Edo stands to benefit more than any individual.
In the last 5 years, there have been conversation about the return of the artifacts stolen from the Benin Kingdom over a century ago. The Edo Museum of West African Arts, EMOA, was birthed from this conversation to serve as a holding place for these arts and other archaeological elements from the West African sub-region. Governor Gordon Obaseki notes that EMOA was conceived to bridge a perceived infrastructural gap in the art and tourism industry in West African sub-region, and it's a nice coincidence that Benin City is coming handy to host this project.
Beyond the works that are coming from abroad, do you realize that we have more than 300 pieces of our works in the National Museum in Onikon in Lagos? They're in the dungeon. They're deteriorating. Everybody is talking about what's coming from out. There's still quite a lot here that we need to preserve. And that just showed us that, if you really think about it in Nigeria today, you don't have any of this such facility. So why can't we use this as an opportunity, now that we have interest from abroad, to build the infrastructure we require to host works of art? Because if you look at the whole sub-region from Dakar to Yaoundé, this is where the core of West African civilization is. So it's no longer just about Benin City, because the empire spread across the sub-region.
He believes the project has benefits which transcends beyond storage of work of art, and Edo State stands to benefit more.
This is perhaps the biggest thing we can ever have, because it's like going to be the magnet to make people come here. And when they come, they will want to see other things we have. They then want to do business. So it's just not another museum. It's not a fight about collecting some pieces. No, it's beyond that. It's a project that represents the essence of who we are as a people and how to use this unique advantage to now be globally relevant.
The EMOA project will be divided into 2 phases. Philip Ihanacho, who chairs the EMOA Trust, explains more.
So the first stage is raising the money to build the museum. This is not an Edo State funded project. Edo State has provided very kindly some land and a small amount of seed capital to symbolize the commitment of Edo State to this project, and it is our responsibility to raise the additional money to be able to complete this project.
He also shares the idea behind EMOA and its mission.
So the creative district and the pavilion are part of phase 1 of this project. So the core mission of the Edo Museum of West African Art is to support the preservation of West African heritage and culture and empower contemporary creatives by providing infrastructure, research and education, and career building experiences for professionals in the cultural and creative world. There are some important things to point out here. Number 1 is this is not just about Benin and Edo State. This is about West African culture.
Stakeholders from private and public sectors were all present at the workshop. Apart from Edo State government, other partners include National Commission of Museum and Monuments, German Archaeological Institute, who are already providing funding, the Leventis Foundation, Oxford University, United Kingdom, and the British Museum. Chinedu Ekeja, KUFM News.
Away from that, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC says speedy passage of the National Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal Bill by the National Assembly would checkmate vote buying. Recall that the bill meant to provide a legal framework for investigation and prosecution of electoral offences for the general improvement of the electoral process in Nigeria on June 30th, passed second reading in the House of Representatives. The Senate had in July 2021 passed a similar bill which had 7 parts and 48 sections and sought to take the burden of prosecuting electoral offenders off INEC. INEC resident electoral commissioner in Lagos State, Olusegun Agbaje, told newsmen on Sunday that if passed, the bill would ensure speedy trial of electoral offenders. He said if electoral offenders, including vote buyers and vote sellers, were arrested and quickly prosecuted, there would be more sanity in the 2023 general elections. Agbaje, however, said the battle against vote buying in whatever shape or form must be fought to a standstill by all stakeholders in Nigeria. Agbaje advised that all stakeholders should engage politicians on vote buying ahead of the 2023 general elections and talk to them as actors sponsoring and encouraging this menace. To security matters, where the Nigerian Chief of Air Staff Oladayo Amao and the Chief Commander of the Turkish Air Force have expressed willingness of both air forces to collaborate on defense technology in order to enhance the operational efficiency in the fight against terrorism. This was made known when Amao recently paid a courtesy call on the Commander Turkish Air Force during his 5-day official visits to Turkey. According to a statement signed by the Director of NAF Public Relations, Edward Gabquet, both forces also emphasized the need for Nigeria and Turkey to share their experiences on the use of unmanned aircraft systems in counter-terrorism operations. This, according to them, would enable strategic synergy and enhance proficiency with renewed commitments to wipe out terrorism. And the Council of Students' Union Presidents has said its members will be storming the Federal Capital Territory for a peaceful protest if the ongoing strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities is not called off. The organization, which comprises all students' union presidents across federal universities in Nigeria, had in a letter to the Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu, dated 19th of July 2022, given the federal government 7 days ultimatum to resolve the disagreement with ASU. In an interview on Sunday, the union's convener, Shuaib Yahya, said all the students' leaders have resolved not to compromise on the decision to embark on the planned protest. According to him, the ongoing strike action had adversely affected students in the country, stressing that some now engage in illegal activities. Coming up in a moment on our business news, Nigeria's rate hike forces stock markets to close week in red. Details in a moment. Stay with us. You're still on to News Done on KU92.7 FM Benin City. On business, Nigeria's equities markets closed the trading week ended July 22nd in red after dipping by 0.45% or 127 billion naira week on week. Though still above inflation with 18.60%, the stock market's positive return year-to-date printed lower at over 21.69% on Friday. The all-share index and market capitalization decreased from week open highs of 52,215.12 points and 28.157 trillion naira to 51,979.92 points and 28.030 trillion naira. The monetary policy rate increased by 100 basis points is its second straight raise this year. It is also the first time interest rate is raised in 2 successive monetary policy committee meetings under the central bank governor, Gordon Emefiele. In all, the monetary policy rates left the cash reserve ratio unchanged at 27.5%, liquidity ratio at 30%, and retained the asymmetric corridor of over 100 basis points around the monetary policy rate. Still on business, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has advocated for a unified foreign exchange rate in order to attract foreign portfolio investment into the country. The Commission said the Central Bank of Nigeria needs to harmonize exchange rates to boost foreign portfolio investments, which has been on the downside for over 2 years. Speaking during an economic outlook webinar themed Resetting Nigeria's Economic Growth Trajectory, SEC's Executive Commissioner of Operations, Dayo Obison, said more foreign capital will be attracted to the economy when the exchange rates are harmonized. Obisan said he was confident that the Apex Bank was working towards achieving a unified exchange rate policy. Obisan called for the floating of the naira and allowing the forces of demand and supply to determine the exchange rate for the naira. And that's it from business. So we're now to sports, where Toby Amuson smashes 100 meters hurdles world record to become Nigeria's first ever world champion. More to come after this break. In sports, hurdle sensation Toby Amuson became the first Nigerian to win gold at the World Athletics Championships after racing to an absolutely stunning world record time of 12.06 seconds in the 100 meters women's hurdles final in Eugene, Oregon in the early hours of Monday morning. It was the second time that Amuson would break the record on the final day of the competition after she ran a blistering 12.12 seconds in the semi-final to break the previous mark of 12.20 seconds set by American Kendra Harrison in 2016. Racing against a very strong field which included former world record holder Harrison and Olympic champion Jasmine Camacho Queen of Puerto Rico, Amuson got out of her blocks quickly and effortlessly glided over the hurdles to clinch the historic gold medal for Nigeria. Brittany Anderson of Jamaica took silver in 12.23 seconds, while Camacho Queen got the bronze also in 12.23 seconds. Amuson also received a special prize of $100,000 for setting a world record, courtesy of Japanese electronic company TDK and World Athletics #WeGrowAthletics initiatives. The final day of the Oregon 2022 World Athletics Championships would go down in history as Nigeria's most successful day in the competition, as Ese Brume also won a silver medal in the women's long jump. Brume, who won a bronze medal 3 years ago in Doha, Qatar, and a bronze at the Tokyo Olympics last year, leaped a season's best 7.02 meters to finish second behind reigning world and Olympic champion Malaika Mihambo of Germany. Migambo continued her dominance by soaring to her second successive World Championship gold with a final leap season's best of 7.12 meters. Leticia Oromelo of Brazil took bronze with a person best jump of 6.89 meters. In some other events on the final day of the competition, Armand Duplantis of Sweden broke his own world record when he cleared 6.21 meters to win gold in pole vault. The United States Relay Quartet won both the men's and women's 4x400 meters relay gold medals. The Americans topped the medal table with 13 gold, 9 silver, and 11 bronze medals, followed by Ethiopia with 4 gold, 4 silver, and 2 bronze medals. Jamaica finished third with 2 gold, 7 silver, and 1 bronze medal. The heroics of Amuson and Brume helped Nigeria finish 13th on the medals table with 1 gold and 1 silver medals. Formula One world champion Max Verstappen extended his championship lead this season by winning the French Grand Prix on Sunday. The Red Bull driver took a significant step towards his second Formula One world championships as a title rival Charles Leclerc of Ferrari lost further ground when he crashed out of the race while leading. Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton finished in second place, while his teammate George Russell was third, taking the first double podium for Mercedes this season. Verstappen's teammate Sergio Perez was fourth, while the other Ferrari driver Carlos Sainz, who started 19th on the grid, drove superbly to finish fifth. Verstappen's win from second on the grid was unspectacular in a race that was defined by the moments Leclerc made an uncharacteristic error that has dealt his championship's hopes a huge blow. The victory has extended Verstappen's lead over Leclerc, who is second in the championship race, to 63 points with 10 races remaining. Having 46 points behind Leclerc at the third round in Australia, The turnaround indicates just how dominant and consistent Red Bull have been overall for 2 of the last 9 races. This is the 27th win of Verstappen's career win, his 6th time in the last races and 7th this season. He becomes the first driver to win the French Grand Prix from below pole position since the race returned to the calendar in 2018. And that's it from sports, and that's the news. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Governor Baski clears the air over EMOA project. INEC task NAS and speedy passage of Electoral Offences Commission bill. And student union presidents to storm Abuja over ASU. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. KUFM News Dawn was produced by Blessing Asekome. I am Gloria Vitalis, saying thanks for listening. Good morning.